Hello friends, and welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters on this Friday afternoon. I hope you're doing well and probably looking forward to the weekend. I apologize for not posting the video as I had planned for last night. Unfortunately, I ran into some issues with uploading the video onto YouTube. That does happen occasionally and kind of messes up my time frame. But anyway, as they say, better late than never. So today I'm going to talk about what I've referred to as the 3 pillars of success, or 3 pillars to successfully appeal a case or win a case. And so I've applied this over the years, over the last 30 years, dealing with the WSIB and the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal. I've applied it pretty much every time that I was preparing for a case, and I taught my paralegals that and our support staff. And it's really easy when you can simplify things and then from there start to build the case. And so the 3 pillars that I refer to are having the issue clearly defined. So I'll provide you with some examples of that. Number 2 is making sure that it is covered by legislation. So under the Workplace Safety and Insurance Act or the Workers' Compensation Act before that, and pre-1990 legislation. So whatever issue you're trying to address, making sure that it is allowed within the law is important, or you'll be spinning your wheels and you won't go anywhere. And then number 3 is evidence. Do you have the evidence, or can you obtain the evidence to support your request? So moving on to the issue and clearly defining the issue. So this would apply if you're seeking entitlement to a particular type of benefit. For example, loss of earnings benefit, that's pretty obvious. A particular type of healthcare treatment, physiotherapy, acupuncture treatment, psychological treatment. Be very specific with those. And if you're looking to gain entitlement for a particular area of your body or a particular industrial disease or occupational disease, then you have to be very specific as well. And if you're not defining that issue clearly and assuming that either a case manager or an appeals resolution officer or the vice chair are going to do that, a lot of times that doesn't happen, and you find that you'll be disappointed when a decision's made, but certain things weren't considered or allowed because the issue wasn't clearly defined. For example, if you're dealing with loss of earnings benefits, just saying that you're looking to get entitlement to loss of earnings benefits isn't specific enough. My advice is, I am requesting loss of earnings benefits from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. That's specific. If you're looking at a particular area of your body, I'm looking for entitlement to an L4, L5 disc herniation. That's specific. It's in the medical. If it's not in the medical, then it won't fly, and I'll talk about that in the evidence part. Looking for entitlement to my knee, my left knee on the left side or the interior side of the knee. Looking for entitlement to my left elbow, things of that nature. Be very specific. I'm looking for reimbursement of healthcare treatment, for chiropractic treatment for a period of 6 weeks. Or I'm looking for additional physiotherapy for an additional period of 10 weeks. I'm looking for entitlement for escort services. And for those who have a claim in the serious injury program and you've been authorized escort services, I'm looking for entitlement for escort services to my doctor's appointment in such and such a date. So it gives you a broad range of types of benefits, specific types of LOE benefits, or it could even be partial LOE benefits, future economic loss benefits. So whatever it is, make sure you're specific as to what you're requesting entitlement for, and of course specific about the area of entitlement in your body, for your body, or industrial or occupational disease. So moving on to the next one, ensuring that the legislation allows for what you're claiming. I'll give you an example. I had a person recently say, I get paid $130,000 a year, but the maximum for 2023 is $110,000. How am I able to get the other amount included? You're not, because the law specifically states that loss of earnings benefits are subject to a statutory maximum or a limit. And it's unfair, but it's the law. And so trying to gain entitlement for something that isn't allowable within the law is a waste of time. So make sure that what you're seeking falls within the law. Another one is you want your future economic loss benefits to go past age 65. It's not going to happen. Future economic loss benefits, the same as loss of earnings benefits, end at 65. Again, it's the law. And another one is the WSIB is contributing 5% to my loss of retirement income. I'd like to contribute 10% as opposed to just 5%. Well, you can't. Even though you'd like to contribute additional amount, the law doesn't provide for that. It only allows you to contribute an additional 5%. So I think that gives you a pretty good idea. Make sure that whatever it is that you're claiming. Another one that I see often is individual trying to claim independent living allowance and certain attendant care benefits. And their level of impairment is below the 60% NAL threshold for the case to be handled by the serious injury program. So if your case, if your permanent impairment isn't at least 60% or more for claims after January 1st, 1990, or 100% for claims before January 1st, 1990, then you won't be entitled to the independent living allowance or the attendant care benefit because the law doesn't provide for it. Is it fair? Probably not, but that's the law, and it's the only thing we can deal with. And so the last one, evidence. You know your case better than anybody. And if you're addressing an issue that's primarily a medical issue, what I mean by that is, let's say that you had an injury, you injured your low back, but you also injured your right knee. And the WSIB didn't accept entitlement to the right knee, they only accepted entitlement to the low back. It's primarily a medical issue, although the way that the injury took place could be helpful in demonstrating that both areas were injured. But it would appear to be more so a medical issue, even though the mechanics of the injury will help. So your right knee, in order to have your right knee included, you want to make sure that there's medical to be able to demonstrate that the right knee was injured as a result of your injury to the low back or in the same accident, and that there's medical information there to support that you actually have a problem with your right knee. Any type of medical related appeal that you're dealing with, whether it's on entitlement for a secondary condition, and I've talked about secondary conditions in one of my prior videos, or you're seeking entitlement that the level of your impairment for your low back is greater than the, let's say, 15% NAL that the WSIB assessed in a permanent impairment. It's primarily a medical issue, and you're going to have medical information from either your family doctor or a specialist confirm that your issue is more significant than the 15%, and you'll have to provide evidence to demonstrate that. If the evidence isn't there, there's no point in pursuing it. I have seen people try to appeal an issue over and over and get more medical, and it's just not there. And then all of a sudden they get a favorable medical report when a lot of them didn't really support it. It's always problematic, because if what's being reported initially by your doctors, and then sometimes a diagnosis will change or become confirmed after certain tests are performed. But to have 2 or 3 different doctors do testing and indicate that there's really no significant impairment beyond that which has already been considered, it's an exercise in futility. It seldom leads to anywhere. I'm not trying to discourage you from pursuing a claim, but if you don't have the evidence to back up your claim, it's not going to happen. And better you know up front than to go spin your wheels and go all the way to the tribunal and have them confirm what's been confirmed before. I'm not saying that you shouldn't appeal WSIB decisions. What I'm saying is that your evidence needs to be there to support what you're claiming. Anyway, that pretty much, when you're dealing with medical issues, make sure that you have the evidence, the medical evidence that's there. If it's an issue of a lack of cooperation, that the WSIB cut you off because you weren't cooperating in work reintegration program, or with a return to work advisor to try and implement a work reintegration program. If you're not cooperating, you need to be able to provide specific information to support why you're not cooperating, so that the WSIB can continue to pay your loss of earnings benefits and either not give you a warning or send you a letter of non-cooperation, which eventually may lead to a reduction of your benefits or stopping the benefits altogether. So the whole aspect of evidence can be very broad. What I've tried to do here is make it narrow. In most cases, it's a medical issue that you're appealing. For example, a higher level of impairment, or getting a certain area of your body included in the claim. These are medical related issues. If you can get the medical to support your case, you're going to do well. If you cannot get the medical to support your case, you're probably going to spin your wheels. And I want to save you a whole lot of time. I don't want to discourage you from appealing your case or pursuing your case, but if the evidence isn't there to support your case, it's likely going to end up with nothing. All right, friends. So next week, I'm going to cover what I actually do in terms of preparation for an appeal, whether it be with, actually forget the WSIB, I don't put any stock in what they do there. So I'm going to talk about the tribunal. If you can prepare a case well to go to the tribunal, you can handle it with the WSIB's Appeal Services Division and just leave it to them to figure it out. I'm not going to go into the extensive aspects of preparing for a case, because that would be a 3 or 4 hour video or a 2 or 3 part series, but I'm going to cover all of the basic things that I do when I go through the process of preparing for a case, so that if you're in that situation right now, then you'll definitely want to be on the lookout for that video. All right, friends. Once again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video and for sharing my videos. I appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to become a subscriber. It's free. All the information that I provide on this channel doesn't cost you anything. I know that it's been helpful for a lot of people. I get a lot of emails and feedback, so it makes me feel really good. I've been doing this for over 30 years on a professional level, And with my YouTube channel, I want to make sure that every injured worker in the province knows that there's help out there and that we can help, which leads me to the next one. If you are looking for assistance with your WSIB claim, whether it's an appeal or whatever the case is, please visit WSIBsettlements.com. That's my company. And we have a whole host of tools that I've put together to help injured workers manage their claims. And if you need hands-on involvement with an appeal, let us know and we can help you. All right, friends? So have an amazing weekend. And until the next one, take care.